If you've been following my channel for a long time, you're probably wondering, why is this video popping back up in my timeline? Well, what I've been doing lately is I've been uploading the entire video series of some of my old classic videos, some of my favorite installs ever. Because the thing is, people watch my videos and it might be between 1 and 10 or maybe sometimes 15 videos long. They'll come in video 7 and ask me about something that already happened in video 2 or video 3. Or they might ask me about a wire that didn't get put in until video 10. The entire point of me putting all the videos in one is so you can start at the beginning and go all the way to the end without any interruptions, and then you can have all your questions answered and be entertained. One thing you'll notice is the drastic difference in the way my shop looks now. If you look back just 6 or 7 years ago when this install was done, my shop didn't have hardly anything in it. It had some fun stuff and it was a good place to be, but no CNC machines. Right now it's basically a factory. We have lasers and CNCs and shelves and it's all organized and nice. But back then, it wasn't so much like that. If you're new to this video, if you're just now seeing this and you're a new subscriber, you can go look at some of my most recent videos and you'll see what I'm talking about as far as the changes in the shop. Right now, enjoy this video. It's the worst install ever. It's the worst install I ever came across. Mine, everything that you see here is pre-CNC machine. I didn't have a CNC machine yet. It was regular saws, jigsaws, circle jigs. I did have a router. Fun times. Talk about a throwback. All right, the Honda's on hold for a week or two. We got to get this thing back in shape. My boy Moke brought it in. Install wasn't looking very good at all. I'm not going to call out the shop that did it. Don't even want to know who did it. All I got to say is it ain't right. So we're going to fix it up. Bring that shit in. Alright, so the amp rack was ugly and we pulled it up, and after we saw what was underneath it, the owner got upset and ripped it all to shreds before I had a chance to videotape it. But I'll go ahead and show you the rat's nest here in a minute. Door panels, yeah, I don't know what's going on with those. Got some TV playing in the background in case you're wondering what all that noise is. Some shit on Netflix. Custom. Okay, so we've also got these kick panels covered in some furry hair stuff, some carpet, covered in some carpet. You pull this off, it's like, I don't know what was going on with this. So anyways, got a Fosgate 6.5 held in with a sheetrock screw. Got a self tapper on the other side. There's a bi-9 with some silicone and some butyl. It looks like, I don't know what kind of sealant was used, but it ain't right. And of course the same situation over there. I already took that one off. So we're gonna make him right. But let's look at this. Let's look at the back. It had double-sided tape on it, and this stuff was all flapping. The adhesive came off or whatever. Got a 1/4-inch window and a bandpass box for 215s. This is actually 1/4-inch. So this was underneath the amp rack. So 3 Fosgate amps with all this shit underneath it. That's why the owner got mad and did that. Of course, we got custom cooling. That's pretty tight. So that was behind there to keep the amp cool. Got fuse blocks, distribution blocks, going into distribution blocks. We got Grandmama's old lamp cord, this old brown one, running to the mids and highs. There's 2 of them, so they're matching. 2 of these. Someone's grandma's pissed. Now it's time to tear it all out and give myself something to work from. Pulling up the carpet a little bit. We got more of Grandmama's lamp cord, the brown cord running all the way to the front. Pulled the carpet up, we got screws, all sorts of screws, some self-tappers. Got one of these little holder downers. Yeah. We got the lamp cord going into some 12 gauge butt connectors all split up. I mean, honestly, it looks like they use pliers to squeeze those. I don't know, but anyways, it's just not a good situation. Okay, what do we have here? This is another speaker wire. I think it's got some butt connectors with some tape wrapped around it. And then we've got wire that's coming through the door on the bottom and kind of going straight across. This thing should be, there should be a hole up top and a hole down the bottom on the other side so it folds and so it doesn't pinch. But I will give them credit because they used a grommet, so that's good. Got to pull all the old speaker wires out so we can start fresh. There's all kinds of stuff going on in here. Well, we got most of the rat's nest out, almost all of it. Gonna start with a clean slate. Got these door panels off. Some random speakers in the door panel. Not bad speakers, just kind of random. And taking these binines out of the kick panels. And I was looking at how they were fastened in place. There's a screw kind of going through. The screw is kind of on the edge of the hole. And then we got some what looks like butyl sealant around it. I say butyl because it picks and it stretches. It's not solid. It just kind of stretches in your hands and falls apart, see? So this thing's got some butyl sealant on it. One screw through the hole over there, one screw kind of on the outside of the hole, but that's okay because it's got some goo holding it in place. So let's get this bitch out of here. Poor thing. Get it out of there. There's some of the goo that's still on it. And here's the hole. Looks good, looks good. Goddamn. We're gonna get this shit fixed up right, one way or the other. And of course we got the Zapco crossover up front, which isn't a bad piece. Actually, most of the stuff in here really isn't bad. He's got nice equipment. It's just the install or something wrong with it. But we're gonna replace this with a Rockford 360.3. So out this thing's gonna come. And that should be it for the dismantle. To put some second skin on the doors and on the floors. Make this thing right. Just spent a whole day working on the chevelle. Stopped by to show them the progress, and apparently this was taken out right before I got my hands on the car. What the hell is this? It's a is it a Rockford? What kind of speaker? It's not a Rockford speaker.
It had a sticker on there, made in China.
Okay, but they glued a tweeter to the little dome. And what the heck is this supposed to be? Like to hold the wires?
Yeah.
And then they got this sock on here. And I opened it up a little bit. It looks like it's got like some sort of choke coil. So some homemade crossover wrapped in some felt, wrapped in some red electrical tape. On the back side, oh there you go, American base. So you had all that Rockford shit in there and you had American base at the same time?
I ain't never heard no American base shit.
Nice solder job. Wow. I'm embarrassed for you, man. God damn. Let's go back at it.
Yeah.
Made these little templates right here. Traced them out on this board. Now I gotta cut these holes. With the neo magnets. Got the kick panel. It's not done yet, but took me half the day just to make the screen work fine. There you go. That's it. Perfect. Alright, I haven't shown much video on this car because I'm not sure if I'm 100% going to keep what I'm doing. But just in case I do keep this, I am filming right now. So I got this thing sitting in here. Made a little fiberglass mold of the floor. Getting ready to pop that out. And as soon as I do, I can attach this to that and do all the glassing. Get it in the car. So hopefully this works out, because if it does, it's gonna look pretty good. And don't mind the green LEDs in here. It's a green car. I guess he's got some green LEDs. Messing with my eyes a little bit, but it's alright. Of course, we got that side over there. Time to pop these molds out. So it's super ugly now, but a little bit of trimming and this thing's gonna start looking pretty. Yep, ugly as can be right now. But not for long. All I gotta do now is make this contour super nice. Do a little mold up in here so it looks natural. And these are gonna be done. Alright, so they're finally starting to take shape, finally starting to look like kick panels instead of just wood. And since I'm attaching this to a little plastic piece so it'll mold in really nice, I'm going to use some flex fill, some 2-part stuff. Check out the description below, I'll have a link to where to get it. But you don't really want to put Bondo on plastic, it'll come right off. And here's the before. They had all kinds of shit behind this panel and then some carpet glued over the top. I don't know what it is. Looks like someone's floor mat. I don't know what the heck is going on here with this. But anyways, there's the before. There's the after. You know how we did it. Alright, that was a lot of work. Finally starting to look good. Hopefully they'll sound as good as they look. As you can see, screens are on, they're wrapped. This little sill piece sits over the top of that like that whenever I decide to screw that in. Got the test bench hooked up, just so I can hear them just a little bit. Go ahead and get in here.
Under measure.
All the green lights, those are gonna have to be fixed too. If he likes the green lights, we'll put them behind the dash or something.
Once, flip it twice.
I know they're like in my
Turn
face. Alright, that's about what they sound like for right now. Until I look up the Rockford Fosgate 360.3 and all the amps, I won't know exactly how good they sound. But they already sound good in phase. I had them out of phase a second ago. They sound a lot better. Yeah. What do you think, Jay Bird? Any good? Alright, it's been a long 10 or 12 or 13 days. Mom and Dad were in town from Florida, had to take a break, couldn't really do anything. So we're back at it again. Got the ugly box, got the Rockford Fosgate amps, got the Rockford 360.3, got some brand new 1/0 cable, some 4 gauge over there ready to go for the smaller amps. Got brand new carpet. It's not in yet, still raggedy. It's over there in the box. Change out the carpet, go back there, build an amp rack, hook it up, make it sound good. If he likes what we're doing with it, we may take it to the next level. But right now, we want to see if that box is savable. It's ugly, but let's see if it's savable as far as the sound. This box has a 1/4 inch window, so it's definitely in need of a little bit of love. We're going to have to fix that up.
Came off pretty easy, huh?
Yeah. Well, it's a little thicker than 1/4 inch. Alright, so come to find out, this is probably about 3/8 to maybe a 1/2 inch piece of plexi. I'll have to measure it. So basically, it might as well be a 1/4 inch because it's not really, it's just hanging on the inside of a even weaker piece. So this right here is only as strong as its weakest point, which would be this, since it's just hanging on the inside. So we're gonna go ahead and try to get these speakers out so I can find out where the hell these wires go. Let's see where these speaker wires go. Alright, got the trim ring off. Looks like we had to grind a little flat spot on the top and the bottom to make it work. I mean, really, I guess that's not that big of a deal. Taking out these speakers, I noticed the fun is not ending. Nice. This, I don't even know how good that's even holding. What do we got over here? Alright, speakers unscrewed, and we've got one Fosgate wire here and some purple wire. I don't know if that purple wire is a Fosgate wire or not. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do on your own ride, but for 5Gs, I want matching wire, even if you can't see it. That's pretty ugly. Got some mahogany or something jumping off over here. This is driving me nuts, this ugly cover. custom shit. Alright, well, it already looks better. Alright, back to the woofers. I don't know if this is the anti-theft device or what, but you know what? I don't really think that I'd want to reach in my hand in there and grab that in the middle of the night. So maybe that's what it was. It's anti-theft, cut the thief's fingers or whatever. So, like I showed you earlier, it was a little bit dark, but this is the speaker wire that was on it. We got a purple, looks like a purple Lightning Audio 12 gauge and a Rockford Fosgate 16 gauge. We're going to strip that shit off of there, and we're going to put brand new Rockford Fosgate 12 gauge wire on there. Brand new, all nice. Alright, I got the speakers in. Brand new wires. And we're not going to put that plexi window back on here unless we do it right. But until I decide if the box is staying or not, I just cut myself a little plug to put in here. It's going to rattle like crazy. Yeah. Got a little bit of weather stripping to put in first. Once I do that, I'll put a few screws in to hold it in so it doesn't rattle. And then basically I want to know how this box sounds. If the tonality of it is good, then it stays. And I'll make it look good and make it nice and strong. If it sounds like crap, it's gotta go. But I have a feeling we're gonna be able to bring this one to life. And he did pay for it, so I might as well try to save whatever I can. I'm just testing to see if this box sounds any good. And if it does, we'll replace this with plexiglass, and then I'll do a little trim piece over it so it looks good. But we definitely couldn't have what was in there. So let's see if this is any good. Just that little bit of weather stripping was enough to slow the rattles down a lot. I haven't even put a single screw in it yet. So let me go ahead and put some screws in this and we'll see. I think it's staying. I just took the rear deck off that was covering the bandpass hole. A couple by-9 screens. And this thing was a straight rattle trap when he pulled it up. I wonder why. Okay, so this is underneath it, which probably isn't too bad. I mean, bandpass boxes are good, you do it right. But this really needs to be sealed off. So base comes in, no rattles go out. I mean, it came in like this. Look at this shit. What is this? Bunch of screws just all loose. So of course, every time the base hit, this thing was rattling like a big rattle trap. And we're gonna fix that up. The by-9s, they're gone. I don't even know if I could take them out at this point. They're pretty far in there. We'll pull this shit apart right here. And I mean, this is, what is this, some fake cardboard? Some fucking straight up cardboard.
Some fucking straight up cardboard.
Covering the hole up. This thing is not how you seal. This is not how you seal a box from the trunk. Or I should say, isolate your port from the trunk. These dudes straight up use cardboard. I can't believe it. Pull this shit off. I've never seen anything like that before. Alright, so we got a bandpass box filtering up through the rear deck, and who knows, I mean, that box may be a good sounding box. I mean, we'll find out here in a little bit, but when you got rattles and you've got bass going back into the trunk and back through those holes, and you got cardboard, that's not even cardboard, that's like chipboard. When you got that sealing off your bandpass box, you're gonna have rattles and you're gonna have just a straight up shit sounding bass. So I think I'm gonna seal all that off for him. I want to hear what this box sounds like. If it has any potential, I'm going to seal that off properly and make it sound good, and then clean up the trunk, and he'll be on his way. So here we go. God damn. Alright, so far the box sounds pretty good. It's hard to tell exactly how it's going to sound until I seal all that off back there. So it's going to take a little bit of work. But once the bass goes forward and none goes backwards, this should make a big difference. But the tonality of it sounds pretty good so far. So we'll attempt to save it, like I said. And of course, once I'm able to save it, we're going to have to make a new rear deck. This one right here is not going to fly. Seems like they did an okay job, like on the routering and stuff. But then this thing, I don't know what's holding that on. Yeah, double-sided taped. We got the 6x9 pods. I just unscrewed them. I got to get to those back screws with a little short screwdriver, but those are coming out next. All right, the by-9s are out. This is what I'm left with. So we'll have to fix that up. Of course, like I said, this is what was over the top of it. And I found something else that was interesting here. I guess if you don't have a long enough piece of wood, you just add a piece of wood to it, make it a little longer, and then duct tape it. Now I'm gonna put a new piece of wood on the back for a new rear deck, but I want to repair the sheet metal before I do that, so it's not just covering a big gigantic hole. We're gonna get this thing back to normal as much as possible and then put a trim piece over it.
You don't smoke weed.
Still not done? Alright, we got that all squared away. No rattles at all. All the bass is coming in. Nothing's going out. It's working out really good. The box actually doesn't sound too bad. So next is this dirty, disgusting carpet. Got some brand new carpet sitting out here ready to go. Got it sitting on the sun so it can heat up and get its shape back. Yeah, no, it's green, it's ugly. But it's not really ugly because it's stock. And it's not dirty, so it's gonna look good. Won't be all dingy and shit. So that's the next mission. We'll get that in, and then the kick panels can go in for good. I'm excited about that. We can finally get some sounds. All right, now the biggest question most of you might have is, why am I trying to fix this box after I just tore out one of the worst installs ever? Well, see, the thing is, the box doesn't seem to sound that bad. Sounds pretty good, actually. It got even better when I sealed it off. But the whole thing is that I'm basically fixing this box for free, and I'm fixing his rear deck lid for free, and I'm just helping a brother out. So if I can take what he's already paid for and make it better, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And somewhere down the road, if he's not happy with it and he wants to go bigger, which I know him and I know he probably will want to, then we'll negotiate a deal and we'll rip it out and we'll go even bigger. But for now, I'm just trying to like salvage anything I can out of this install. and just try to make it right. So there you have it. Check for the next update. It's coming a little bit later, probably tomorrow morning. I got a little bit more done, and then I should have some sounds bumping here real soon, a couple days. Alright, as usual, this next update isn't going to be too exciting. I mean, we're talking about some sound deadening and cleaning the box up, but eventually it'll all be worth it in the end. Like right now I'm getting ready to pull this old carpet up. Nothing really worth filming here, but I'll show you me reaching over. Look. Yeah, out it comes. Start ripping it. Alright, as you can see, big difference. Shit's extremely raggedy and old. That shit's extremely brand new. Alright, so these god awful green lights gotta go. I look up and they're like zip tied to the bottom of the glove box. A zip tie every couple inches, just kind of holding it in place. Never really seen that before. Usually there's better ways to put them in there, but they're annoying the hell out of me, so they gotta go. Plus there's a bunch of wires just kind of hanging all over the place. I didn't pull on those are already like that. That green light's about to come out. I'm gonna make some sense out of whatever wiring is in here, tuck them up under there for them, get them cleaned up. All right, before I put the carpet in, I forgot I got some wires to run. So we got some brand new. Oh man, I just dumped my grommets all over the place. 1/0 cable. Gonna run it from the front to the back. Normally you don't need to run this much ground, but I'm gonna run it directly from the alternator to the amp rack because we can. Nice antenna wire. Alright, so it's apparent that this shit needs to be cleaned up too. Gonna get some brand new RCAs on it. Alright, since I'm cleaning up all the deck wiring and everything behind it and giving it new RCAs and everything, I may as well run some new power and ground. And for me, I always prefer to run my power and ground from the deck all the way to the back, so the amps and the processors and the deck all have the same exact positive and the same exact negative. So I'm gonna go ahead and reel some of this off, twist it up so it looks good and it's easy to run. Alright, time to get some RCAs for this thing. Got the SMDs ready to go. High quality RCAs. All cleaned up, ready to go in. Nothing too exciting going on here. Just got all the wiring done. Those are for the kick panels, so I can plug them in and unplug them. Power wire, remote, RCA's over there. So I believe I'm ready for some carpet. All right, one piece down, one more to go. As you can see, everything's tucked in here really nice. All the wires are flat underneath the carpet. Brand new carpet's in. Just needs to settle down a little bit because it's still fresh out of the package, but it'll level out a little bit more after a while. So I believe I'm ready to put the kicks in. New carpet's in. Rear deck is all cleaned up. The amp rack is not built yet, but all the wires are ran. Sound is coming off the test bench. As soon as I'm ready, get that done. Jump up front, put the new MechMan alternator in. Got the wires ran up front, ready to go. They're gonna get hooked up to the alternator, and then from the alternator over to the battery. That's for tomorrow. Alright, so as you can see, I got my 0 gauge ran through the firewall, and I'm planning on hooking up to that alternator, which will be turned into a MechMan 260, I believe we're putting in here. 250, 260. I'll know when it gets here, but once it gets here, we're gonna hook that up, run some wires over to this battery, and of course these wires that are ran through the firewall are running to the back, and they will be hooked up to the back battery, and the amps will be hooked up to the back battery. So everything's gonna be all connected together. One of the things we're gonna do though is he's got a battery isolator. So whoever hooked up the system hooked it up with some 4 gauge to a battery isolator, to a fuse, and then ran another 4 gauge, which I already pulled out earlier, all the way to the back. Doesn't seem like too bad of an idea, although I don't use battery isolators for anything anymore. It's just not a good idea. So we're gonna go ahead and take that out. But one thing a lot of people don't understand is, even though to me 4 gauge is too small for a long run like that, in the very least, if you're gonna do that, you need to upgrade this. This is your positive wire on the alternator. Like for instance, I'm gonna run 0 gauge power wire right now. If I was to leave this just like that, it would be the biggest bottleneck on the planet. That's probably 8 gauge. Maybe you know what? I would say maybe it's 10 gauge. I'm not sure. It's pretty small. So one of the biggest mistakes a lot of installers make is they'll run this big thick cable to the battery and call it good, when really that is what's making all your power while the car is running. Battery only starts your car and provides power when the car is not running. When it's running, that's doing everything. So it's very important that you upgrade your positive on the back of the alternator as well as the grounds, because that is also your ground. When the car is running, that is your positive and your negative. So keep that in mind, and let's get to soldering. All right there, looks good. Alright, it's about time to get my solder on. I'm working solo, so one thing you do when you're working solo is you figure out how to make it happen. But since I'm cutting it to length in the car, that means I got to solder it in the car, and the vice grips hold it in place very well. So yes, sir. A nice little spot right down here. Nice little frame ground. You'll notice when I'm doing the soldering on these, I never really put too much of the flame on the solder itself. I always use the back side or all the front and around it, and it ends up having its own built-in iron. I'm using the metal for the iron itself and sucking the solder in there, feeding it in, and then once I get to a certain point, I'll hit it and then it just pulls it all down. And once it's all pulled down, then I can put a nice little beauty cap on the top. And after that's done, put a little boot on it, it's a done deal. It's kind of dark down here, can't really see what I'm doing. Got some brand new frame grounds, some brand new terminals for this battery. He had these on there. We'll put some good shit in if we're gonna do it. Might as well go all out. looks like a pretty good spot. Alright, so I did these ones just a little bit different. I didn't thread the holes, but I made them big enough for the bolt to pass all the way through. So basically what I'm doing is I'm creating a stud. I added 2 extra ones right here, and that's so I can attach a fuse to it and then send it off to the battery, which you'll see here in a few minutes. But that was done on purpose, in case you're wondering. And should be fully functional in about a minute. Got some more ring terminals to solder, of course. Now I have a place to put them after I solder them. That should work out nice. Alright, I just took these out. These run as back battery. Not bad. It's a good brand. They're pretty, they get the job done. But we're trying to get things matching, so I actually had 2 more battery terminals in the little goodie bin, so that makes a total of 4. And everything in this car is going to pretty much match. So Merry Christmas to Moke, and sorry he had to put up with what he put up with, but it's going to be nice here in a minute. Alright, I thought for sure that I was done finding shit in this car and I cleaned it all out, but damn, one last little bit of hilarity. Got this battery here. Alright, hold on, I'm going to have to get a light for this one. You got to see this. Alright, we're going to get a light.
I've been at the sharp end of a 3-foot gator guard's teeth.
So I didn't really think nothing of this. This looks like a battery with like some crazy mount on it. I'm going to take it apart so I can move it around a little bit. Anybody see what I see? You see it yet? Dude. Nice custom socket spacers. What's up with that? Is that the missing 14mm or the missing 9/16 we were looking for? God damn. Hold on. Oh, it's a missing 5/8. So anybody that's missing a Craftsman 5/8, hit me up. I got it right here. And that one over there looks to be about a 13mm. I guess you got to do what you got to do, but god damn. I don't know about all that. So I wonder if that's a bonus. Alright, I guess I'm off to the store to get a real spacer. I mean, it works for a spacer, but that's pretty embarrassing. So I'm trying to hook up these goddamn wires, and the surprises just never stop coming. Alright, just a little hint of what the bus bars are looking like. Battery's all hooked up back here. Bus bars hooked up to the front battery and alternator. And tomorrow I will build the amp rack and start running the wires. And I just made life a lot easier on myself because now I have a place to put all the wires. First, before I do anything, because I don't want to pull these amps off again, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap the little amp rack. Very little of that piece of wood is going to even show, but the part that does, I don't want to be raw. Oh shit, we're getting there. Time to bust out some more SMD Diamora RCAs. Got some 3-footers and some 6-footers. Everything's getting soldered, even the 4-gauge. Obviously I haven't done these yet, but I'm about to. Alright, I got all those done. Got the RCAs on the amps. Now it's just time to hook them up. Alright, finally got it all wired up. Now maybe you're wondering why those are so long when the amp rack is actually going to sit down in there. Well, that is because I plan on being able to lift this up. This way I can get to all the dials and whatever else I need to. I probably won't need to set them too much, but I don't want to wire myself into a corner and make these wires so short that I can't lift the rack up and get to anything, because basically the dials will be face down once this is in. So everything in here is going to kind of fold sideways. It's going to drop right on in there, and it should work really well. It's just about ready to fire up. I'm about to hook this 360.3 up to my laptop so I can set the crossover points. 80 hertz and down, 80 hertz to 3500 hertz, 3500 hertz and up, and we'll start EQing as soon as we get this thing all dialed in. Alright, so here's the goal. A new piece of plexiglass over that hole right there. That's just a temporary plug. So plexiglass there, maybe a little logo, and then we'll trim all this out with a fiberglass piece, make it look proper. And I believe that'll be a wrap. Yeah. Is it good?
Family reunion, a special occasion. We live for the moment and we hold Alpine's pumping, system overload. I'm waiting on the mothership. I'm waiting 2 short camping hours at the Coliseum. Watching George Clinton.
Hey man,
That shit the truth.
is it the best system you've probably ever had already?
That's the best system I ever had. That's the best sound I ever had. That's all the way quality. And every time you touch the fucking knob, it just get nastier.
Hey man, and we had beat all the way back into the Alpine days, right?
Days, man.
I mean, Alpine pullout.
Soundstream.
So you ain't no peanut. You know beat.
Nah, this real shit.
Yeah,
This
you
real
happy?
shit right here. Hell yeah. I'm happy. I'm like a kid on motherfucking Christmas. What's
Hell
that?
yeah, goddamn right. You know how we do it.
Oh, shit.
Of prescription drugs sold in the U.S. come from plants found only in a rainforest.
Alright, here's the deal. SMD Sun Flash needs no catalyst, needs nothing except the sun, which means you pour it directly out of the can into your cup and just get going. As long as you don't see any sun, as long as this cup doesn't see any sun, you got all month, all day, all week, whatever. It just stays liquid. So no waste, nothing. So see that line of sunshine out there? That's your catalyst. Now watch this. I don't want to open up a brand new can, but I've got a pretty big jug of this myself over here. So it's directly into the cup. It's no rush. It's not going to harden up at all.
If the tearing of the trees continues, the players could see these sparks gone.
Leave it on there.
With them, variety and range of...
Now, this is really thick fiberglass I'm using. If you're using something thinner, it won't take as much, but there you go. Just like that.
The challenge is to understand the rapid changes we have brought upon our planet.
Alright. That looked like the fun part, but here's the real fun part. Watch this. Soaking wet, no hurry. I could go take a phone call. I could chill out, you know, smoke a cigarette. I don't smoke, but if I did, I would. It'll just stay wet forever until we bring it out here. Watch this. sure the clock is already running, so we'll be able to tell how long that's going to take. I'm going to go get something that I can touch that with. Just leave the camera running, Jaybird. Don't set it on off. Has it been like 20 seconds? Yeah, or something like that. It's already set up. Look, I'm pushing it. It's barely moving, and it's like 40 seconds in. Look at that. We usually say about a minute, but when you've got nice California sun, like we do over here, it's usually a lot quicker than that. It's actually a mild day today. If it was a hot summer day, this wouldn't even, I'd already be inside grinding on this. So look at that. You want to touch it, Jaybird? You can touch it with your bare hand, it's done. Just push on it. Yeah. So put it this way. If you're using regular polyester resin and mixing it, you'd still be in there mixing it and getting it ready. And I'm already done. Yeah. Alright, check it out. My normal camera, my little Sony handheld that I always use, well, it's not working very good. Matter of fact, it broke. So I'm going to have to use this iPhone until I go get a new one. I'll probably get it this weekend. In the meantime, I sort of lost some good footage that I had on the camera. So if you click right down on the link below here and check out the description, you'll see all the pictures of how this little trim panel that you're looking at got to be where it's at now. So I just thought I'd take a second out and explain that, because you're probably wondering, where'd that thing come from? Well, check out all the pictures right down there in the link, and I'll explain everything. It's still liquid, no hurry. It's going to stay liquid until I hit the sun. That's the best part. Matter of fact, I got to get it away from that door, because being anywhere near it sometimes is enough.
Humans standing on the ground, you don't only see the world, but our feet. We need to look around, above our heads.
Alright, I'm going to do this front piece real quick. Get a little bit wet. Get it prepped up for the new stuff.
Same brush you've been using the whole time?
Same brush I was using all day today. When I built that other stuff, I was using this stuff today. Same brush. So, yep. This over here. Oh, look at this. Where's that long piece at? Yeah, I got a little piece right here for that front piece. Fucking phone. Quit making noise while we're filming. Alright, nice and wet. This is 19-ounce fiberglass, so it's really thick.
What would the forest be like if these plants, these ecoplants, weren't here?
I love this stuff. I'm not even joking.
As a kid, I was always
If I was using the other stuff, it'd be in a rush and a panic.
still shakes her head in wonder when she realizes
And you never know if you're mixing it just right or not. Even if you mix it just right, you're looking at like 20 minutes of wait time. So if you mix the other stuff perfectly, 20 minutes. Maybe 30 minutes, maybe longer. But look, this is already ready to go. Alright, still soaking wet, both sides. Watch the magic work again. Just leave that camera running so they know. And this thing's already done all the way. I can start grinding that. I can start sanding it. I can do anything I want to. I can layer it. Doesn't matter. Check back here in a little bit when this thing's done. It should be looking gorgeous. Alright, I got all the rest of the fiberglass on there. That took me about, I don't know, another 1 minute. So this entire thing was completely fiberglassed and it's solid as rock in 5 minutes. Alright, in case you're wondering just what this thing is, I guess I can mix this in with the new update for the 72 Chevelle. Now, don't get me wrong, this thing's super rough. It needs body filler and it needs about half a day of sanding. But it's starting to take shape, so let's see. Basically, you've all seen that. If you're a subscriber, you know what this is. Alright, we got a piece of 3/4 inch plexiglass right here. I'm not ready to put it in yet, but it goes in that open hole. And then I've got this frame sitting over here that goes over the open hole. This is going to cover up any fasteners for the plexi. So there you have it. There's the update for right now. I got a lot of body filling to do and a lot of sanding to do before I can move on to the rear deck. And of course, once I do that, it'll all be done. We can get it out of here. Here we go again. It's Sunday, back at it. Got some more fiberglassing to do before I can start doing the body filler. I gotta do this bottom piece now. And sometimes I wonder why I film this little stuff, because it's really not that important. But the thing about it is that it takes lots of time and you gotta like think about what you're doing. So it's part of the build, therefore I will put it in. So this bottom piece needs to be fiberglassed. It needs to be fiberglassed onto that little piece of fleece that I got curling up over the top of the body. That thing will be ready. Then we can body fill the whole thing and start sanding like crazy.
That's cool. So we'll do that.
Alright, a couple days sanding later, and here's what we're looking at. All that sanding is pretty much done. I'm about ready to wrap this. I think I'm going to wrap it the same white material that's going to be inside. It's like an off-white. Alright, we got the brand new door panels right here. They're about to go in. I got some matching material. It's an off-white. And I'm going to wrap these pieces. The trunk's going to finally look good. Little countersink for the screws. Got plenty of them. Every 3 inches on center. Alright, the woofers are in. Got the trim rings back on. They're nice and tight. Got the little green light stuff up in the corner. Wires hooked back up so the box itself will glow. But now it's time to work on the logo on the plexiglass. something like this, except for it's not going to be gray. It's going to be clear. It's going to look etched when it's all done, and it's going to glow. So let's head on over to the computer. So we're going to use some of this instead of the gray material. Alright, I've got this already loaded into the program. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to have to put that in reverse. That way it'll come through the glass the right direction. And we'll go ahead and hit send. So this is essentially the chevelle sticker. You'll see here in a second when I peel it back. I don't know if you can see that or not. My favorite part, yet my most hated part. Only because now the plexiglass is vulnerable to scratching and damage. But it sure is going to look good here in a second. Probably can't see it, but there's a little channel that's now cut in here. What that channel does, it allows me to put this LED strip in there nice and flush. Shoot it straight up into the plexi. You can put it right on the edge, but to me it's better with it being flush. So that's how I prefer to do it. Alright, that's done. Time to clean out some of this trim that goes around the plexi. And I got some high grade vinyl that I used on Chicken's Caddy a while ago. Got some scraps left over. That'll work perfect on this. Let's see how it looks. Little trim piece for the amp rack. Gonna wrap in the same stuff that I wrapped the plexiglass trim piece in. It's kind of a delicate little trim piece, but hopefully it'll look good. Alright, now I spent most of the last week sanding and making sure everything was right because I knew I wanted to finish this thing up and get it wrapped. And you just cannot wrap over uneven surfaces and everything else, it's got to be right. So even though it was wrapped and not painted, I still had to put a lot of work in. And those little flanges on the inside, those things were a pain in the ass, but I finally got them right. And another thing that's tricky about this, all this shit has to come back out at any time. Not the box, but the trim, so I can get to the amplifiers and everything if I need to. I probably won't ever need to, but just in case, I don't want to lock myself in for life. So anyways, here goes the update. That's what it's looking like. Don't mind the wires in that corner, that's just for the LED on the plexiglass window. That's getting ready to be ran properly, probably tomorrow. I just finally got all this stuff done today. So, just a little bit different than when it came in. Sounds spectacular, and now it looks a little bit better. So, check this out. Now don't mind the wire hanging off over there. That's just hooked up to a little battery so I can test out the LEDs, make sure it's all working. Tomorrow that'll be all hidden, of course, obviously.
I'ma take flicks, girl, take that risk. Don't be scared, girl, bake that shit.
Next step, we got the rear deck. I'm gonna start building that. And then we got the MechMan alternator. And then I'll finally be done. Of course, we got brand new door panels sitting over there ready to go into. So this thing's gonna be brand new on the inside when we're all done. Almost brand new. Alright, time to jump inside. Gotta make this rear deck look good. Drew some stuff up. It's not gonna look exactly like that, but that's the idea. So let's get started. Okay, so those little things are just little stabilizers to hold the sides to the back trim until I can fiberglass it into place. So just temporary. Now I gotta start building the frame around this port, and then a frame around that frame, or a frame inside that frame for the screen. It's all just kind of glued together until I figure out exactly how it's going to go, but this thing fits right in there like a glove. Just need some fiberglass, some body filler, some wrap, and some screen. It'll be good to go. This whole outside area is going to be white. This little trim piece right here is going to be black, the one that pops out. And then this is going to be a screen going over the port. Should be pretty legit. So I take this little stick right here, and I'm going to go around, all the way around it, That way I can have room to do like a little flare up on it with the body filler.
And the sort of naive, homemade things that happen, you go through this, your band is your family, and they would explain, but also, band is
So ugly.
you know, there are other things in your life.
Always ugly though, in the beginning, always.
Appreciate it.
That's why I always say, let me finish it. Don't say nothing until I finish it.
A guy's band.
We always told ourselves that all the females were back. It's very good to see.
They were very tough guys, and they very much knew what they wanted to do. I suppose they were just sitting there, you know, playing this for hour after hour, you know, just trying to get into it, really.
That's good.
I wanted it to be a very definite anti-Vietnam War song. And I had certain words.
Time to start doing some body filler. Gonna try out this new shit from U-Paul. It's a little cheaper, and it's supposed to be as good as Rage Extreme. I always use Rage Extreme, but we'll find out. I'm always down for cheaper, as long as it's as good. So let's see. Stuck my hand in the wet stuff. Stupid. Now this is what that little 1/4-inch piece that I cut earlier, that's what it was here for. So I give this just a little bit of a flare, raise it up, sand it down, it won't look so flat. It's not just a basic rectangle. It is in fact a trapezoid. Alright, this thing's ready to go. It's ready to wrap. Go ahead and do that real quick. Alright, time to wrap this thing in some black, and then the screen, and then this thing's done. Alright, this thing's handled. Alright, all that's left is the screen.
Alright, here's the reason why we never throw nothing away. This piece of screen is all I have left, and it's a full-blown scrap from something else. I will be able to use it just for that middle part that's wide enough to make it, and then it's long enough, so I have something like this. For those wondering if it's going to block any of the base, probably not. Pretty much see-through. Air will come right through it, no problem. Alright, let's pop it in and see how it looks. It's a little dusty from being on the table. There it is. Rear deck done. Complete. Ready to ride. You could bounce a quarter off of that, it's so tight. So it looks like all we got left to do is to put the interior back in, put that MechMan alternator in there, and this thing's ready to roll. Looks like he's going to get his seats recovered and get some brand new rear quarter panels for it. We've already got the brand new door panels. This thing's going to look pretty much brand new on the inside when we're done. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm almost done. I can't wait. Yeah. So we need to put some WD-40 on that trunk hinge. I'm going to scoot back here so you can see all of it at the same time. Today's mission for the 72 is the new MechMan Billet Tech alternator. I believe this one benched over 250 amps, 250, 260, something like that. Of course, we got the stock alternator in here. I believe it's probably 100 amps. Most of them are. I always say it takes power to make power. Actually, I don't always say that. Everybody always says that. It takes power to make power. Try out this new DeWalt impact and see if it's any good. Wow. Yeah. I don't think I'm ever going to use a wrench ever again in my life. Sick. Just like that. Alright, we got the old one out. Looks like it's been in there a while. We got the new one getting ready to go in. Let's see if it even fits. I hope it does. So go ahead, Jay, start this bitch up, see if it runs. Yeah. Let me see that voltmeter.
14.3.
Give it a little gas. Pretty healthy. Right, now I've got this thing called an AVBM in my hand that hooks up to that, which means I can adjust the voltage, raise it up a little bit into the high 14s, the low 15s, anywhere you want actually, but for a 12 volt battery you don't want to go too high. Alright, the AVBM is in. I just stuck it right there. I didn't want it underneath the dash because I really don't want anybody in there just turning it anytime they want. I'm going to set it for him and he's just going to forget it. It's just going to do its thing. Kind of got it out of the way of the heat. Shouldn't be a problem. So let's start it up. Alright, so with this, stock amperage 14.7. I want at least 15.3, so I'm going to turn this. There we go. Woo, she's charging strong. Got the interior back in, brand new door panels, brand new rear quarter panels, and he is planning on putting brand new seat covers in here, some white buckets, getting the back ones redone so they're brighter white again, so they'll match everything else. So that's going to happen here probably next week, but as far as him getting his car back, this is how it's looking. Alright, if you're wondering why the door handles aren't on there, the little door cushions, got brand new door cushions right here. But unfortunately, the bottom parts are brown and dirty and chipped, and they're going to need to be redone and put back on there. Like I said, as far as I'm concerned, the system is done, and I guess his upholstery guy will go ahead and take care of it from here. But at least it's all white on the inside, all the carpet's all brand new, and he's ready to roll. First thing I'm going to do is finally set the gains right. Leave it at 57, all right? All right, sounds good. All right, I set the gains on all three of those amps. All right, so basically what I'm doing is I'm playing pink noise through the system with a microphone up by the rear or by the front seat. All EQs are flat, but I'm reading what the system is putting out right here, and I'm gonna level out all the little peaks and valleys just to smooth it out a little bit. I don't want to make it totally sound like an AM radio, but I just want to smooth it out a little bit. I got a couple of peaks I can already see in there. That's gonna have to be brought down. So it's pretty simple just to get the basics started. I just shut the tweeters off and I'm going to start tuning the mid-range first. And as you can see right away, it's kind of peaky around 200, between 200 and 275. So I'll just bump those down a little bit. It looks like 1300, 1400 is down some. So we'll go in here, turn this up a little bit. Now, I don't want to turn anything up too much. Matter of fact, I'm going to do more cutting than I am going to do boosting.
Man, them door panels look so much fucking better.
From the streets, you can call my girl and run some game on you. I'm all about the junkies. Man, this bitch. In 20, with the Southside big brand. Money. Straight money.
can hear that mid bass from over here, man, on the kick panels. All right, here we go with the maiden voyage.
Ready now? California ride.
All right, man, check it out. Pop the trunk. Let's see what this shit looks like. One last thing before I send you out of here, man. Do you like it?
I love it.
Yeah.
That's right there.
Goddamn right, man.
Actually been Steve me.
Oh shit. Good shit, man. Right. All right, Moke just got his car, and I think he likes it so far, but we got one more thing to do. Come on this way. Forget about that table. We got other stuff. I'm gonna let him do the honors. Something over here for you. It's a special surprise. This is all yours right here, man. I want to let you do the honors. There's the dumpster right there. Check it out. There's the old door panels. Or, sorry, there's the old kick panels. There's the old rear deck.
This flips as shit.
Yeah.
Look at this shit, man.
Here you go, man. Unless you want to keep that stuff.
Hell no. Bastard.
Yeah. You would have won a slam dunk contest with that one.
Shit.
Good shit, man. Yeah. So if you're wondering what happened with Moke's vehicle, about 2 weeks later, he said, I sold it to somebody in LA. I hope you're not mad at me. Someone wanted it and they wanted it right now, so I sold it. Well, I'm perfectly happy with that because that means that no one's going to come pulling up to my driveway saying something's wrong and I got to fix it right now. So we're good to go. And as long as I made him happy for that day, that's all that counts to me. Moke's a good friend and I didn't mind doing it. So it was fun to fix all this up on YouTube, and I hope you guys enjoyed the entire video. If you watched the whole thing, I appreciate you. And we got some new stuff coming up real soon. Thanks for watching, and I'm out.